Picture this. It's a completely normal morning. The sky over Europe looks perfectly clear. But then, in a matter of seconds, every single screen, every radar station, every defense network, and every emergency channel across the continent starts flashing with the exact same terrifying message. The shield is down. There's no buildup, no gradual warning, just bam. In that heart-stopping second, the massive, intricate systems designed to intercept missiles, drones, and airborne threats suddenly collapse, right at the exact moment they might be needed most. And we aren't talking about losing a physical wall or a border checkpoint here. It's the sudden, chilling evaporation of the invisible protection that people trust without even thinking about it. Literally, a continent-wide safety net just vanishing, leaving millions staring up at a sky that suddenly offers absolutely zero protection. Section 1. The shield is down. Okay, so let's dive into what this actually means. A sky shield isn't some magical sci-fi force field over a city. It's a highly complex, layered architecture built on massive webs of sensors, command systems, radar coverage, and interceptors. And it really has two main jobs. The first is physical, buying time and stopping incoming threats. But the second is psychological, convincing enemies that an attack simply won't work. It's physical protection totally fused with psychological reassurance. So how does a system like this actually break? Well, there's a staggering variety of ways. Could it be cyber sabotage, with an adversary testing the architecture using digital deception? Maybe a cascading technical glitch exposing a lack of redundancy? Or system saturation, where the network is just completely overwhelmed by too many simultaneous threats? Or frankly, just a massive organizational failure. The truly terrifying part? The public won't know which of these caused the blackout. They're only going to know that they are completely exposed. Section 2. The psychological shockwave. Because the very first consequence of this failure isn't physical at all, it's visceral. Look at how fast this unfolds. At minute 1, you've got quiet military confusion, delayed detection, weird radar gaps, frantic command centers trying to figure out what's real. But by hour 1, the disruption goes totally civilian. Flights are abruptly grounded. Social feeds are absolutely saturated with panic and unverified footage. By day 1, we're looking at severe market uncertainty and emergency instructions from governments. That realization travels way faster than any official press release ever could. The crucial takeaway here is this staggering psychological shift. Living under a protected sky creates profound confidence, right? It lets us tolerate distant danger because we believe the system above us is ready. But an exposed sky, that breeds instant panic, extreme vulnerability. When that underlying belief in safety shatters, honestly, even an ordinary cloudy sky can suddenly feel incredibly threatening. Section 3. Fracturing the alliance. See, a localized failure doesn't stay local for long. It threatens to completely dismantle cross-border trust. It's a credibility chain reaction. Europe's sky shields rely on massive cooperative effort and shared intelligence. So, step 1, one nation's sky gets exposed. By step 2, allied nations immediately start doubting their own protection. If their partner's sky is totally thin, is theirs too? This triggers step 3, emergency military consultations, leading straight into step 4, a massive continent-wide credibility crisis where allies start questioning the actual reality of their shared defense. And trust isn't the only thing that fractures. The economy paralyzes. Financial markets, as we know, absolutely love uncertainty. Kidding, of course. The crash. Confidence in air travel drops instantly, triggering massive flight groundings. In logistics, routes are rapidly reassessed and supply chains essentially hit pause. We'd see massive spikes in insurance costs and just overarching financial anxiety. A loss of trust in the sky instantly paralyzes ground infrastructure, airports and financial centers all across the continent. Section 4. The adversary's calculus. Now, we have to put ourselves in the strategic minds of opportunistic enemies who are watching this unfold in real time. We call this the strategic temptation. A sudden technical collapse instantly alters an enemy's behavior. If any hostile actor sees these shields failing, even for just a few minutes, they're going to ask themselves, do we test the gap? Do we launch a coordinated threat just to see how fast Europe can recover? It strongly tempts them to force concessions or intentionally sow panic. The vulnerability isn't just a physical hardware issue, it changes the entire calculus of everyone watching from the outside. Which leads to a pretty chilling realization. The greatest danger is not the first failure itself, but the possibility that someone else notices and decides to exploit the gap. In defense planning, a perception of weakness is literally an invitation. The hidden battlefield of modern deterrence exists entirely in the mind of the opponent. If they stop believing your shield works, the danger multiplies exponentially. Section 5. Rebuilding Shattered Trust. Okay, so if Europe survives the initial shock, the aftermath is an immense challenge. How do you recover confidence after such a profound systemic shock? Governments have to race to restore interceptor capabilities, deepen allied coordination, and massively upgrade redundancies. But the most critical step of the whole shebang? Proving the fix to an anxious public. Empty words just aren't going to cut it here. Governments must provide undeniable, visible evidence that the shield is fixed and resilient. The public needs proof they aren't just sitting ducks waiting for the next threat. And through all of this, we absolutely have to acknowledge the quiet heroes. Behind every single radar station, command center, and interceptor are human beings. Invisible engineers, analysts, operators, and military personnel working under crushing pressure to keep that next layer of defense alive. Their work is usually completely invisible to the general public, but their calm under pressure literally determines whether the crisis grows or is contained. So we're left with this final provocative thought. Is peace built on diplomacy, or is it built on systems that absolutely must work when the sky is darkest? A scenario like this forces us to rethink the fragile systemic foundations of modern peace. We naturally assume security is just a permanent state, but it heavily relies on machines, software, and human vigilance that have to hold up under immense pressure. If you want to understand modern vulnerability, you don't just look at treaties. You look at the systems keeping the sky quiet. Thanks for exploring this explainer with me.